Yes, the theological shifts that I have noticed in our conference is that we have increased the diversity within our conference in terms of theological perspectives. In other words, our the extremes of our conference have expanded, and we have, if you want to put it theologically, or we have more conservative churches and also more liberal, and we're not just, we have become more diverse, and so we have spread the gamut of theological thought, and so in that we it has also resulted in losses. In these last 20 years, we have lost 4 congregations, and some of them have been on theological issues, and others have probably been more on a whole complex set of issues. And so these losses do reflect part of our diversity, and in some cases even extreme diversity. And so when congregations move into a completely different theological framework, obviously working together becomes very difficult. And that is still the challenge, is that we are still a diverse people, although we have had a covenanting experience where we have come together as a conference, and but the diversity within our theological society that we live in, within the context of our other Christian neighbors, still exists. And so we still wrestle with the pull and the push of diversity. And we do across Canada, and also within the context of MCBC. And that will also be a struggle for the future of the church. How willing are we willing to live in a tent? Sometimes we like our tent to have very narrow walls, and we don't want kind of open walls. And so how constricting or inclusive do we want to be as a community? And so that's the kind of some of the dynamics that are happening, and they continue to happen, and they will continue to happen. I know that if we say what will the church will be like in 20 years, there will be more shifts, and there will be more change. And we've in some ways seen too much change when you deal with losses, but that change, I think, will continue. So on the other hand, I think what is exciting, there is a lot of new theological thought coming in the larger context of our society, and people are actually discovering our Anabaptist values in contexts outside of our community. And so I think there's new motivation, like Stuart Murray and other people who have discovered the Anabaptist thought. And I think there's more and more movement towards that. So I think that will also help us to move into a more diverse community within our own context, so that we will continue, hopefully, to be a church that will be less and less ethnic and more what I'd call Anabaptist, and for simple reason, less ethnic Mennonite and more Anabaptist. And that's the dream that I have, and that we hopefully will continue to embrace more and more people, because we at MCBC have been a declining church, and the Christian church is declining. So we need to look at what the reasons are, and totally embrace and welcome in people that have similar thought, and also be, I think, a testimony to other Christians who are starting to discover that the Jesus of the Bible is also the Jesus of the Sermon on the Mount, and that is real, And so hopefully that will help continue for us to be diverse but still united. So.